American troops are getting blown up by Iranian proxies. And unlike the Russians or the Chinese, who would have obliterated the people that did that to American troops, we don't seem to be doing much of anything about it. Claire Lopez, who served there, is going to tell you what she thinks should happen. Maybe you can explain something to me, because I don't get it. It's one thing for Israel to request American assistance as Israel gets hit every single day with rockets from the north, from the south, and from the way south, and I mean the Houthis in Yemen. But at the same time, Americans are getting blown up by missiles. And this air base, as an example, is in western Iraq. It's the Al-Assad Air Base. Those are American vehicles. That base is entirely American in the middle of Iraq. Rockets are falling on the base. It seems to be authorized, if not fired by, Iranian militias. And the word is it's to retaliate over the killing of Hamas leadership, as if the Americans were the ones that did it, but they did it. I have an interesting hypothetical for you. If this Al-Assad Air Base, with these American trucks parked on the base, were Russian trucks parked on a Russian base, and Russia got hit, Russian soldiers were dying, getting blown up by missiles fired by Iran, what would Russia do?
Well, I think we both know the answer to that one, Barry, and that is that Russia would strike back immediately and hard against whichever militia were to have launched such missiles at their base, and that would be the end of it. In this case, however, what we're seeing again is the Iranian regime operating through its Shiite terror proxies. In this case, it happens to be apparently a new group that calls itself Al-Thawriyun, which claimed responsibility for the drone and rocket attack against that base, which injured, I think it was about 7 Americans. I think 5 were service members and maybe 2 more were contractors. But because it is an Iranian proxy that claims responsibility. And by the way, there haven't been these kinds of attacks really since about last April, when the United States did respond forcibly to attacks by Hashd al-Shaabi, as they're called, or Shiite militias in Iraq. But because these now, again, are Iranian terror proxies, and the United States administration of President Joe Biden doesn't want to do anything to upset Iran right now, or as Tony Blinken, Secretary of State, would put it, we don't want to escalate. That is why we're not seeing a more forcible and immediate response, in my opinion.
And knowing what we both know about the Middle East, appeasement only brings more of the same. The language of that part of the world is force will back down. Appeasement is weakness, and we'll bring more of the same.
Yes, exactly.